Profiles in Cinemania. Robbie the Robot. We wouldn't normally be profiling someone who is, with all the best will in the world, an entirely inanimate object. But Robbie is different. In fact, since 1956, Robbie the Robot has had a longer and more varied career than many actual flesh and blood stars. For the film Forbidden Planet, every trick in the special effects trade of the time was being rolled out, and that extended to the robot character in the piece. Up until this point, robots had been depicted as essentially a person wearing a collection of air conditioning ducts. But with the coming of the atomic age, an age of progress, ray guns, nuclear annihilation and flying saucers, a new look was called for. The art department at MGM was given the go-ahead to be as wild and crazy as a huge budget would allow. He would be able to walk around and interact with scenery and people, with a series of flashing lights and jiggling doodads under his transparent dome of a head to indicate all of the futuristic super science going on. His film debut was a hit, and MGM realized that Robbie was the breakout star. Aside from being an obvious box office draw, the robot was too expensive to just get rid of, and the money men, being money men, wanted a return on their investment. Robbie would appear in The Invisible Boy, in which it is implied that the same robot from the Forbidden Planet has been brought back in time to 50s America, where hijinks ensue. Although not exactly an Oscar-bait movie, it proved that Robbie would bring appeal to any production, and a career spanning 43 separate appearances on film and television was born. His last appearance was as a background prop, an extra you might say, on The Big Bang Theory in 2014. Robbie would turn up to perplex Columbo, to duke it out with his cheap clone B6 in Lost in Space, and menace Mork and Mindy. Sometimes he was a genuine threat, more often a piece of comic relief, or just an Easter egg in the background of a shot for film nerds to point at and say, "Aha," as in the film Gremlins. But the invincible atomic super robot from the future just seemed to have an appeal that kept people calling him back in front of the camera. Robbie would even go through different looks as time went on, appearing with a giant cyclopean eye or a maid outfit as the plot required. Considering his ability to crush all humans and emit devastating ray beams, he was something of a sport about it. Sure, you could argue that there are more famous robots out there. Robbie never got to demand anyone's clothes, boots, and motorcycle, nor did he flounce off and leave R2-D2 alone in the desert. But he never wore out his welcome either. No one ever complained about Robbie showing up yet again, perhaps in an ill-conceived 1980s cartoon series about an annoyingly uptight droid going around annoying people to a soundtrack by a member of soft synth balladeers, the Police. No, not Sting, the other one. No, the other one. In any case, I'm looking at you, Anthony Daniels. Any actor today could look at Robbie the Robot as an example of a well-run career. Always turn up, always give the crowd what they want, and perform every job with the same calm professionalism, no matter how ridiculous the gig. Robbie has been called the single most expensive prop in movie history, considering that on his own he represented 7% of Forbidden Planet's budget, and the last time he changed hands in 2017, the price tag was a cool $5.3 million. So, keep on rocking and rolling, you rambunctious robot. You have a place in our hearts, and a place in film and TV history for all time. We only hope that Robbie takes a little time to relax, smell the roses, and crush all humans. This has been another Profile in Cinemania. This episode was written and performed by Andy Slack. Music by Carl Casey at White Bat Audio. Profiles in Cinemania is a product of the Cinemania Society, LLC.